Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Frank Menard here from the Menard Team Coaching, powered by the Napoleon Hill Institute. Guys, today I'd just like to have a conversation. I typically come present these videos and I have a very structured um, presentation that I want to give. But today I actually just finished watching one of my mentorship calls with the Napoleon Hill Institute. And as I was listening, my brain was kind of working on, where are we right now in 2024? So it's October 1st. And just to share a little bit, October 1st, 1974, I made a major decision in my life when I began my journey to become a United States Marine. So that was October 1st, 1974. In fact, about 2 a.m. tomorrow, I will have arrived at Parris Island, South Carolina, on the big white bus that picked us up at the airport. And suddenly my world had changed. And I did a post actually this morning on Facebook, and I simply stated that at 5:45 this morning, on this date in 1974, I began my journey to become a Marine, and it was the best decision I had ever made. So I want to share with you today that I've made another best decision, and that was to become affiliated with the Napoleon Hill Institute. So I just want to share some thoughts during a mentorship training class that I just sat through for the last 60 minutes or so, and just share some of the things that it means to me. So right now, as I mentioned, is October 1st. And for me, in my mindset, it's the beginning of the fourth quarter of this year. So we should now be starting to think about formulating what our goals are going to look like for 2025. Now, I'm not saying you stop chasing the ones that you set for 2024, but now is the time to start not only thinking about, but perhaps putting them in writing. Where do you want to be by the end of 2025, next year? So goals are really important. And I know I ask a lot of folks during my coaching, what is it that you really want? What are your goals? And people have a hard time deciding what it is that they want. And that's perfectly normal. It's okay. I think sometimes we give too much credence to the goal. So I was reminded today, it's not about the reward. It's about the journey. So whatever goal you decide to pick, so one of mine this year was to complete what I expect to be my final marathon. It's in celebration of my 50th anniversary of becoming the Marine. And I'm almost there. October 27th will be the race. And I've been going through some training. And through that training over the last year, so beginning in January, I've become a different person. I've had to become disciplined and to train when I didn't want to train and to do the things that were uncomfortable, sometimes even painful, in order to achieve my goal. And that's going to happen to all of us, regardless of what the goals are that we choose. It's all about the journey. I'm remembering a story by Darren Hardy, who's another one of my mentors. He actually told a story about describing the perfect woman that he wanted to marry. And he wrote page after page after page describing to the ultimate detail what that woman would be like, what she would look like, how she would act. And when he completed that, he then started another process. He said, well, wait a minute. In order for me to attract that woman that I just described, who do I have to become? So when you identify what your goals are, I want you to think about this question. Who are you going to have to become in order to achieve that goal? What are the changes that you're going to have to make? Do you have some habits that maybe need to be adjusted or eliminated altogether? Who do you have to become? Because it's all about the new person that you're becoming as you are working toward that goal, going through that process, going through that journey. One of the ways that I have really found helpful for me to relieve some of that weight that's on my shoulders when I talk about big goals is just release the result. See, we focus on the end game. All right, well, we're going to have a goal. Okay, this is the goal. This is the date I want to achieve it by. But once you've laid that out there, release it, let it go, and focus on the daily activities that you must perform consistently over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever that timeline is. Focus on those activities. So each and every day, you're making one tiny step toward the ultimate achievement of the big goal. If you simply focus on the activities, the results will come. Trust me. Think about all the things that you've already accomplished in your life and how focusing on daily activities or the action steps, for me, those daily training runs for my marathon, every single time I go out for a run, I'm preparing myself to accomplish the ultimate goal of completing another marathon. So focus on the activities. Release the result. Don't get attached to the result. I also heard something today I had never heard before. We always talk about, self-talk and trying to have positive self-talk. Some people call them affirmations. And affirmations may be, I am rich. I have all the things that I need. I have an abundant life. Well, what I was introduced to today was a different form of affirmations. Because see, some of us, when we say those things from the positive, we actually don't believe it because it's not true yet. So our subconscious mind says, yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not rich yet. No, you're not abundant. So here's a new technique. I love it. I'm going to try it. Instead of an affirmation, it's called an ask-formation. So instead of saying, I am wealthy, say, how am I wealthy? I am healthy. How am I healthy? That gives a different twist to it. When I say, how am I healthy? It's saying, okay, what are the steps that you're taking each and every day to be healthy? Your subconscious mind will focus on giving you what you want. Remember, the subconscious mind cannot make any decisions. It simply does what it's told. So try that technique. Ask-formation versus affirmation. See how that works out for you. Another thing about goals is, oftentimes we set a goal and we set a deadline and we start to approach the deadline. We haven't achieved the goal yet. Good piece of advice. Don't change the goal. Extend the deadline. Stay focused on what it is that you want to achieve, because you don't fail until you quit. So just because you didn't make it by a specific date, maybe you were unrealistic when you set the goal initially. Maybe life got in the way and things just kind of changed. This last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of things change. I've been doing a lot of traveling. It's impacted my ability to train properly for those long runs that I'm supposed to do every weekend. Well, my deadline's October 26th. I'll be there to run the marathon. October 27th. I'll be there to run the marathon, and I believe and trust that the training that I have done will allow me to complete my mission, to complete that marathon. But for some things, maybe you decided you wanted to lose 100 pounds. I know somebody who's already done that. And maybe you didn't get it done at the deadline that you wanted to. That's okay. You still have the goal to lose the 100 pounds. Just extend the deadline a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Don't change the goal. Extend the deadline. I'd like to wrap up today's video with the quote by Napoleon Hill, which is, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So to you, I want to say, whatever you can conceive and believe, the key is you have to be able to believe it. You can conceive it and you can believe that it will actually happen. You can achieve it. So whatever your mind can conceive, and you can believe it in your own mind, you can achieve it. So hope I didn't ramble too much today, guys. Those are some thoughts that I just kind of popped into my brain as I was preparing for. I always prepare for this video right after I watch the mentorship meeting that we just had. It just triggers some ideas. I hope these ideas are helpful today. Please stay focused on your goals. Start now to think about where do you want to be at the end of 2025. If you like this message, please give me a like, share it with somebody who could possibly use it, and of course, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you in my subscription list so that you can get these videos each and every week. I haven't missed one yet. Hopefully, you won't miss one either. We'll talk soon. Bye now.